Hi there, and welcome to the post-match reaction where Rangers have drawn 1-1 with Olympiacos away in Greece in the fourth game in the Europa League table. I'm joined by Craig Dennett to break it down. How are you after that, Craig?
Yeah, pretty good after that performance. I actually had to stop myself from doing the intro there. I'm so used to hosting. I had to catch myself before we did that. But yeah, all good after that performance. I think it was a bit of a boost to see a performance like that at this time. I don't think it masked any of the issues, but it was a really positive performance and plenty to get stuck into.
Yeah, I think maybe it highlighted some of the issues going forward from a certain number 9, but we'll certainly come to that later on in the podcast. That maybe being a bit harsh because he did score the equaliser. But Rangers lined up with Butland. Had to stop. Sterling at right back, Suter proper in the centre, Jefte at left back, Barron, Raskin, Cherny, Dio, Bayrami and Dessers. What was your reaction to that lineup and to have been dropped?
I think that's the surprise, I guess. I think before the game they said that he'd started the last 36 Rangers European games in a row, which kind of shows how much of a stalwart he is in our team. It appears that the at least one of his performances over the last couple of weeks has been the straw that's broken the camel's back a bit in terms of Luke Cabot's view of him. So wasn't necessarily surprised that he didn't start. I probably expected Casemiro to start over Dujon Sterling, so that was maybe the switch that I didn't really expect, but especially because in his pre-match press conference, Luke had said that Dujon Sterling isn't ready to play a full 90 minutes yet. It was to see him starting was a bit of a surprise, but I thought he played well. I haven't seen Robin proper in there. Actually, I was a bit concerned about that. Probably the first time that I've looked at him in the starting lineup and thought, I'm not sure about that. We saw how good Olympiacos were against us. Fair enough, it was a friendly last season, but they were very good that night. And I was a bit worried about the guy up front, El Arabi. I thought he's been really good at any time I've seen him. He's been tricky for defenders to handle. He obviously got the goal tonight, but I was worried about that. The midfield three, I think, is our strongest midfield three, albeit Diomande in the 10 isn't his favourite position. I think he's a bit hot and cold in there. But Barron and Raskin are absolute stalwarts in there for us. Mm-hmm. Now, we want to talk about how good they are. And then Cyril Dessers is kind of your only option. I think is where we're at. Igaman, I don't think is up to starting games. He's barely up to starting games in the Scottish Premiership, never mind in Europe. But he's a good player to come on from there. So I think the team probably pretty much picked itself outside of the right back situation, and Sterling over Casemiro, which flip a coin stuff kind of thing. I think.
Yeah, no, I like you. I was saying it.
Nice of you to like me.
Well, that's it. But like you, I was pretty happy to see. You never want to see players dropped, but it was definitely the right decision, and certainly something that fans have been crying out for a while. It would have been interesting to see if had Danilo been in the squad, would Dessers have been dropped as well. But just generally on that first half, I've summed it up here. Some good defending, some good attacking play, frustrating home crowd. I think as far as first halves go. The two chances we will come on to talk about in a second, but I thought that was pretty good for an away European game.
Yeah, I think it's exactly what you'd want from an away European game. Set up well, which we would think we've said very much this season. Seemed to get it tactically right. We defended well, and we looked a threat on the break. Václav Černý was our biggest threat. Their manager had picked him out before the game as being that, and he lived up to that expectation, particularly in that first half. I felt he was causing them a lot of problems. He was mixing up between coming inside and going on the outside, which was nice to see, because he does sometimes have a habit of just coming inside all the time. So that was nice to see. And Cyril Dessers had a couple of chances, and we probably deserved to be in front at halftime, I'd say. I think on the balance of play, we were the better team there, and I was really positive as we headed into halftime.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. What did you make of those two Dessers chances? Are you just thinking we just have to accept that, or are you just thinking that he has to score one of those two chances?
I don't know. I genuinely don't know what to make of Cyril Dessers. Like he gets in the right positions. He overthinks some stuff. I think when you saw his first chance, which on reflection on the replay at half time maybe looked slightly offside, but he's running through on goal from that left hand side. Similar angle to what he had against Real Betis last year, but you're expecting him to find the back of the net with that. He's just got too much time to think. The goalkeeper probably does quite well and makes himself big, but he hits it straight at the goalkeeper, and it's one of those ones where you're like, can I get annoyed at him for hitting the target but not scoring because he's not like, it's not like he's hitting it wide all the time or anything like that. He just always seems to hit the goalkeeper. But I think there was the goalkeeper did well. Cyril Dessers should have found the back of the net, but it was his first chance, and that's the kind of that's the claim. It's like sometimes you only get one chance, and those are the ones you need to take. But thankfully, got a few more tonight.
But that is it for me. I think it's harder to hit the keeper twice than to score twice. To be honest with you, with both of those chances. But listen, half time came and went. It was a bit of a scrappy start to the second half. But round about the 55-minute mark, Rangers concede, and this height for me is the difference between the two teams. The boy, I'm not even going to bother pronouncing that boy's name, but poor defending from Rangers. But that's one shot from that guy, and it was a goal, and he had their team up front. That to me is what Rangers are lacking at the minute. Is somebody, ironically, I know we're going to talk about Dessers scoring a goal, but it was a clinical finish by their striker.
It was a clinical finish, and it was a great finish. It's one of those really aesthetically pleasing goals that it just comes off the inside of the post and just runs the whole way around the edge of the net. But it's disappointing. The disappointing bit for me, I think, was the fact that when the ball was nodded back, John Souttar is so far. He's still going back towards our own goal at that point. He's in line with Jack Butland, and their striker has got maybe 7-8 yards of space. Souttar tries to recover it, but the shot's just inch perfect as to the one stopping that as soon as it leaves his boot. So disappointing to defend in that way. I think it was in the first half we I guess followed the script we've seen a lot of this season so far. We were giving the ball away in stupid areas without much pressure on us. We were giving away possession in our own half, around the edge of our own box. Or when a lot of our players were steaming forward for a counter attack, and then they are left on the wrong side of the ball. That was happening a lot in the first half. I think we got control of that in the second half, and we played well. But that was the one point of defensive weakness, was when they scored, and I've no idea what John Souttar was doing, to be honest.
Yeah, no, you're totally right. It was just like a lapse in concentration. That was all it was. But it's that old cliche. You get punished for mistakes like that at this level. That's why the teams are in there. And Olympiacos are a good team. We saw it last year being the Conference League winners. Listen, the next action point comes around the 63 minutes. I've just written here, it's an excellent goal by Dessers. Quite reminiscent of, if you remember, one of the what's his name, Egeman's goal against FCSB in the last game, where Barron wins that ball. He's so good at winning that ball, putting out those wee fires in the middle of the pitch. It sort of drops to Czerny, who's the man of the moment at the minute, and it's a good through ball to Dessers. And what a touch, what a cutback, and then it's an unbelievable finish. And I've just written down WTF because I don't know what else to say about it. Because why don't he do that more?
I'm not sure he actually touched the ball for cutting back. I think he thought about cutting back and he missed the ball a bit, but it worked because the defender went sliding past, and it was a great finish. I think credit has to go to Connor Barron for winning the ball in the midfield in the first place. He was a huge player for us tonight, as was Nico Raskin, and we'll go on to talk about that sort of midfield three. But he won the ball back then. It was a bit scrappy. Václav Černý, I think, has been our best player for a number of weeks now. He's been our really only creative player in there, and he showed up again well tonight. And that assist, it was perfectly weighted ball. Dessers running through, he feigns to go and leaves. I think he leaves the ball. I don't think he touches it, but neither here nor there. Defender slides past, and it's a lovely finish into the side net. You can't ask for any more from him from that. And I think that's the difficulty, because he's That's another big game away to Olympiacos, intimidating stadium. He's stepped up, he's scored a goal, he's missed a few chances. Is he a good player? Is he not a good player? Who knows?
Well, that's it. I think I've messaged you saying that game could have finished 3-1 Rangers, and I don't think there would be too many batting an eyelid at it. And Dessos potentially could have had a hat trick. But listen, he's taken his goal well. As frustrating as it is, they missed some of those chances, but he has got his equaliser, and well, he's fit at the minute. So listen, you've teased it a couple of times, Craig. You and I were messaging back and forth during that game, waxing lyrical about that midfield three. That for me is a midfield three that people have been crying out for a long time, and they really seem to be establishing themselves as what the midfield should be going forward.
They definitely are. I think Diomande makes, even though number 10 isn't his strongest position, he's still our strongest player in that position at this moment in time. Tom Lawrence obviously had that starting berth early in the season, but the combination of Lawrence and Dessers just doesn't work in any way in terms of linking up. I think Diomande is better in that position and offers a bit more. I don't think it's the best we could be with that one, but it's the best we've got at this moment in time. Yeah. Barron and Raskin just seem to bring out the best in each other. Nico Raskin is playing the best I think I've seen him since his first couple of games for us. Seems like he fell off a bit of a cliff after those, but he's playing much better now, and he's one of the first names on the team sheet, I'd say, along with Barron. So long may that continue. The physicality they offer, the energy, the composure on the ball that they both offer, as well is tremendous, and they're real assets to us now as we go forward. There's probably still a bit to be worked out about how the two of them play when we've got the majority of the ball, like we do in domestic games. There's probably a wee bit to be worked out there, but they both should be in the starting lineup straight away for me. And again, I thought Connor Barron did really well tonight, but Nico Raskin was just a colossus.
Yeah, that's a fantastic word to describe him. To be honest with you, I thought Raskin was not done at Rangers, but I didn't see him being a first team player. But as you said, they're both excellent foils for each other. They both bring out the best in each other, and Raskin's just that tenacity to go in and win the ball. Yeah. That's something we've really been missing since the start of the season. And I might get slagged off a wee bit for this, but I love it. See him picking up that booking in the 93rd minute, just absolutely clearing out that Olympiacos player when he's crossing the halfway line. That is exactly the type of player that we need in our team, just taking bookings like that and winning it back. But I thought it was a really good performance tonight by all three of them. Just before I get your thoughts on man of the match, that sort of stuff, Craig, maybe a wee word on Clement's tactics. They have been universally getting panned for the last few weeks. I think maybe that's the consensus, that it's much more suited to European football. But you look at it, the only shot Olympiacos had in goal was the one they scored with, and in true Rangers fashion. But I thought Rangers played pretty well and were unfortunate not to actually win that game.
Yeah, I thought we played well as well. I think we are really, again, we've got another manager who sets us up well in Europe and struggles domestically. I mean, about this, I'm not sure. Would I want it the other way around? Probably, for a little while at least.
Just for something different.
I'd want us to be better domestically, and if we've struggled a bit in Europe, then fair enough. Our setup clearly works. We're playing teams that are much better than any team that we really play in the Scottish Premiership. We're playing against the likes of Olympiacos, as you say, who won the Conference League last year. We've Lyon were the only team that we have struggled against so far, and the amount of money they're able to spend there, the quality of players they've got, it's just like beyond anything we can offer. But the other teams that we've come up against so far are we've shown up well, and tactically Philippe Clement looks like he knows how to play them. The players look much more comfortable playing in that system. We just need to find a way to break that inconsistency that we've got domestically, because domestic teams seem to know how to play us. European teams don't seem to know how to play us. And it's the domestic form that he's going to get judged on instead of the European form. So he needs to find a way to fix it if he's ever going to get out from all this pressure that he's currently under.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. But yeah, just before we wrap up as well, there, Craig, you have touched on it. It was a good European away performance in a stadium that is, intimidating. I thought the players coped well with that. But have you got a man of the match?
I think it's Nico Raskin. I don't think you can look past him for man of the match. Václav Černý did well for the first half, and then fits and starts in the second half. Conor Barron was really good. There was lots of really good performances in there, to be fair. But I think Nico Raskin was the standout by a mile. So he gets my man of the match for tonight.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Just to be different, I'll give it to Černý. But I did think it was a good overall team performance, which is something that we've certainly been lacking in recent weeks. But listen, that just about wraps it up there. Just remember, if you're watching the video, give us a wee like, give us a wee subscribe, share, and just make sure those notifications are turned on. We'll be back at the weekend on Sunday for the game against Hearts. You'll have the pleasure of Craig and myself for the post-match reaction to that one. Go catch that. That'll probably be on X, and then Craig, I think it's you again. Won't it be on is it the 8:30 show?
I think we've been the later show on Sunday because of the late kickoff, so they're stuck with me and you for a post-match reaction.
No, it's going to be a long match reaction then. But listen, take care, everybody, and we'll see you all again soon.